Walla Buffett, welcome back to Reporters Hub. My name is Lefatse, and we are here to discuss the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations games, whereby Kaizer Chiefs will take on the Al Masry from Egypt, and then Mamelodi Sundowns will take on St Lupopo. I am with KP here. KP, my brother Gunjan.
Hi, number one, Lefatse and yourself.
I'm Nandi. No, man, let us start with the CAF Confederations, whereby we will see Kaizer Chiefs play Al Masry. I can't pronounce the name from Egypt. But the Kaizer Chiefs in their group, they seemingly have Al Masry, Zamalek, and Zesco United. What do you think of that group for Kaizer Chiefs? Is it going to be difficult for Kaizer Chiefs to make it out?
Well, Lefatse, if you take away looking at the teams that Chiefs will be playing, man, you look at the fact that Chiefs hasn't been playing in the continental football for the longest time. They are slowly but surely trying to find their feet here in the Bedway or in South Africa. So I don't think the difficulty will come from the opponent or the oppositions. The difficulty will just come from the team itself, Chiefs itself. Will they find their feet as soon as possible? Are the players mentally ready to be traveling and doing all those things? Are the core coaches going to want to risk the Bedway position for the continental football? Because it goes both ways. They can try and push continental football and surf on the other side. Can they find balance? I don't think Chiefs is ready to find balance yet, looking at how things are going. So, yeah.
Do you believe would they have the squad to compete maybe in both the CAF and the Betway Premiership?
Do they have the squad? It's a good question. Do they have the squad? I don't think so. Do they have the personnel? Yes. When we speak about squad, we're talking about a team. And a team consists of a whole lot of things. You're looking at combination and all those squad. I don't think they've got that. But do they have the personnel? Yes, because you're looking at, I think Chiefs can build up a two teams. You look at Abo Paseka hasn't been playing, who went to semi-final. You're looking at Umunyani. I think they've got three quality right backs. You're looking at the Aboma boy, Abundlo. So they do have the personnel. It's just that they need to turn that personnel into a team, like you're saying, into a squad that will be able to compete both ways. Because, I mean, you look at their last game in the Bedway against Obit, where they scored 4 goals. I don't know when last did we see Chiefs scoring so many goals. There were a whole lot of players that were out in the team or that are not playing regularly. So now is the time where everyone will have a chance to get minutes on the field. Will the coaches also take a risk of rotating it, saying, okay, this one, let's keep this squad for the Bedway and the other one for continental football? It's going to be interesting to see.
This coming weekend on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, Chiefs they are going away to Egypt. So that is their first game. They're going away to Egypt. Now you're starting a tournament like this. In terms of, like you said, the squad, they seem inferior against these teams. I'm looking at a Zamalek that has always been there in the CAF Confederations and CAF Champions League. You're looking at Zesco United. I think they're from Zambia, doing very well over the past couple of seasons because they have been the number one team from Zambia. And also Al Masry from Egypt. They are here in the CAF Confederations Cup. How then do you think Kaizer Chiefs are going to try and manage? No matter what should they do? Let me phrase my question like this: what should Kaizer Chiefs try and do in order to manage both these CAF Confederations games and also the league?
Look, Lefatse, if you look at the fixtures that are coming up now, I think if you look at the Bedway, I think the only game that Chiefs will be playing is on the 3rd. So coming from international break, they had 2 weeks to prepare, which I think that's where, sorry to tap into that's where Mamelodi Sundowns, like, they really know how to prepare. They would travel way early. I don't know if Chiefs is already in Egypt or they're still in South Africa. How do you prepare for such games? Like I said, you've got the personnel, you've got the people that have played this continental football, even on bigger stages. This is where you need them. And then you've got Aboli Lepo, you have Abontoari. Those are African players. Those are players that they should be used to this. And you know, when you go to Egypt, as much as there's dirty tricks of football, you don't see much there in Egypt. The majority of it is football based. So I think for now, especially for these next 2 games, I don't think the Bedway is disturbing Kaizer Chiefs in any way. They had 2 weeks break. They can prepare the team, and I think the other game that they are playing, it's their home game in the Confederations Cup. So for me, you go to Egypt, you get a point, man. You get a point, you come back, you get 3 points, you're already on 4 points. So I think it goes to what
Yeah.
Upito used to say, experience. You don't need to win the group in order for you to proceed into the next round. All you need to do is to make sure you are within the first position and the second position. Then, yeah, I think Chiefs can do better. I'm honestly rooting and hoping what they do better because it's gonna boost their confidence. The supporters, I always say when Kaizer Chiefs is winning, the nation is at peace. So yeah,
Last season, you didn't want Mamelodi Sundowns to do well in the continental stage, and right now you are saying you wishing Kaizer Chiefs well. Hey, but that's a story for another day. Maybe before we move on from the Kaizer Chiefs and Confederations part, do you think they would have learned maybe from, just like you are saying, what Peter said? Do you think they would have learned from an Orlando Pirates team that went all the way into the semi-finals of the CAF, a Mamelodi Sundowns that went all the way to the finals of the CAF, a Stellenbosch that went all the way into the semi-finals of the Confederations, whereby there is a certain formula that you need to follow. Maybe you don't need to go away and get a win. Maybe if you can consolidate the game and get a draw, and then you try and come back home here, you get all 3 points. Do you think that is how maybe they should approach this tournament?
well, the fact is different. In football, I always say the best teacher is experience, my guy. You need to go through it in order for you to learn. You can say, "Oh well, what happened?" Like if you look at Orlando Pirates last season, when they went away, they actually collected points. But Stellenbosch on the other side, they always went and they drew and they came back, they finished the game. You see, because I remember earlier on, I didn't think Stellenbosch would go all of them. So I think this is where the coaches are going to be challenged. How are they going to be challenged? Game management. You're looking at the game, you look at it, you see, okay, this one is up for the taking. There's a saying in football that says, for as long as you don't concede, Lefatse, you won't lose the game.
Yeah.
As long as you are not conceding, you won't lose. So you are going to Egypt is the 80th minute. They are not posing any threat. Then maybe go for it. So I think Chiefs needs to develop their own. Well, a lesson that they need to learn is you don't have to go all out away. It's not a must. But what happens, Lefas, if the game is there for the taking? Are you now gonna sit back and say no? No, 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 no. If it's there for the taking, take it. And I always say, man, in the league, in the groups, it's what? It's 6 games in total because
Yeah.
they're playing one home. Yeah. So if you look at that, the first two should be pre-season for you. It should be enough for you to say, okay, fine, this is how much I got and this is how much I need. You collect, I think 9 points gets you safe. So hence what I'm saying, I want to see Chiefs do well because they've got the personnel. If you've got such a squad and you don't proceed to the next level and you're getting knocked out early in the domestic cups, what are you gonna do with everyone that you have in your team?
That's right. As we move on, I know I said that was the last question. Do you think Kaizer Chiefs makes it out of the group?
Do I think I would love to see them make it out? But do I think they do? Yeah, man, I think Chiefs goes through, man. I mean, come on. Chiefs supporters will be all out when they are playing home and they are picking up. So that's what I'm saying. First, look at it this way. They were on the international break. The only game that they are playing in the bad way now until we close, it's on the third. So they would play 2 games in that confed without being disturbed by anything. So they don't have any reason not to collect maximum points. I honestly see them. I see Chiefs finishing second or third. I would love them to finish second.
No, no, no. I agree with you. It would be a good thing for them, man. Personally, I would like them to take their home games, especially the continental games, away from FNP. Maybe to Dobsonville because it's smaller and the atmosphere, man, it becomes. When you're playing in a smaller stadium and then there's a large number of people, it's a bit different when they play at FNP because you
Mhm.
can have 10,000 people at FNP, which is a 90-seater stadium. The atmosphere won't be the same as playing at Dobsonville. Maybe it's a 12,000 seater and then you have 10,000 fans there. But that's my take on it, and we don't know the sponsorship thing with the Kaizer Chiefs. Let us move on to Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns in their group, they have Al Hilal from Sudan. Okay, they've been in the Champions League over the past 4-5 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
They have the MC Alger, the prodigal son return to Rulani. And then they have St Eloi Lupopo, the team that beats Orlando Pirates. How do you think Mamelodi Sundowns is going to do in this group?
Mamelodi Sundowns is making it through, Lefatse. You know, there are some things, man, whether you hate them or what, you just know they're gonna make it out. This same coach who has put Sundowns on a regressing position currently is the same coach who got Mamelodi Sundowns last season, where they were not sure whether they are qualifying for the next round or what. I think Cardoso knows how to play CAF. He masters CAF. I think maybe that's why Sundowns has kept him, even though he's under pressure. So I see them making it through. This team, Lefatse, you know, FC Lupopo or whatever. Remember, they made a name because of that guy. Who's this big guy?
Yeah,
Ngcobo. You see,
Ngcobo.
them playing Mamelodi Sundowns. It's a different game, Lefatse. They are coming to South Africa now with a game that is starting at 0-0. They are not. What are they going to defend? As much as you're going to defend, it's fine, but it's 0-0, and this is not a knockout game. So either way, they might somewhere they have to play. If they decide to sit back and get a draw because they are playing away, cool. But then that doesn't guarantee them that if they win away, they are going through to the next stage. So this is where the trick comes in, because now it's still group stages. Mamelodi Sundowns doesn't need to beat this team for them to make it out of the group stage. They don't have to. But as for Lupopo, I think they are the newbies in this whole thing. So even in this coming weekend, I see Mamelodi Sundowns winning 2-0, man. Straight to the point. That team, man. Look at it this way, Lefatse. Had Orlando Pirates came home with 0-0, we could be talking something else now. But now the problem is Pirates went away and they did not do their homework. They played pound to pound. Unfortunately, that was not so smart about them. But yeah. So I see Mamelodi Sundowns finishing, for me, first. If they don't finish first in this group, it will be another failure from Cardoso.
Right. MC Alger, Coach Rulani is coaching MC Alger. I think it's gonna be one of the big stories in this group. You know, when Coach Rulani comes back to South Africa, how do you think the reception is going to be? Maybe the players will accept him because we know some of them they love him. But from a fan perspective, do you think they are still in love with Coach Rulani?
The other reason why Cardoso is under pressure is because they are so-called Rulani fans at Mamelodi Sundowns currently. There are people that still adore Coach Rulani Mukwena. And I think it's evident now to see what he was building was a force, you see. So I think he will receive love from Mamelodi Sundowns supporters. And also what I've picked up, Lefatse, is I think South African fans are maturing. As much as we banter each other and all those things, you hardly see South African supporters swear at their previous coach. You see now there's a bit of Orlando Pirates fans that are a bit divided. Some are saying Ribeiro betrayed us. Some are saying no, we still love him. Believe you me, on the day wherever he will be at the stadium, fans will cheer for him. So I think Rulani will get the love when he comes back. He will get the love. The only thing I would love to see happening is, will he get the love even if he manages to beat Sundowns? That would be tricky to see.
I was going there. Maybe as we close, because we are running out of time. A minute. What happens if Coach Rulani beats Cardoso? Is that then going to change the narrative of the fans and it will be like, you see, you fired the wrong guy? How is that going to plan out in your own opinion?
Already, majority of Mamelodi Sundowns fans are saying Cardoso is not the right guy. Already, they're saying no, Rulani shouldn't have been let go. But what happens when Rulani beats, or if Rulani beats Cardoso, especially at what do you call this? At Loftus, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess because it would mean that the fans that are calling for Cardoso's head are right. And I don't think the chairman wants to see that happening, you see. So, but to be honest, between you and I, Lefatse, I don't see Rulani beating Sundowns here at Loftus. I think it's going to be a draw. he has learned.
Yeah.
He has learned his lesson. He doesn't have to always attack. I've seen a few of his games. Sometimes because he's the best defensive coach, because he keeps the ball to himself, he will try and do that. He will try and keep the ball, frustrate Mamelodi Sundowns. He will try and go at them here and there, but I don't think he'll go all gun blazing because he knows the threat that Mamelodi Sundowns can pose. I mean, the very same Cardoso has managed to beat Rulani at Sundowns. So he beat Rulani at his best team. So why would he struggle to beat Rulani when he has Sundowns? So it's going to be interesting to watch. But I honestly see at home, I think it's going to be a draw.
Yeah, right. Personally, for me, as we close this video, I think this should be an easy group for Sundowns. I mean, they have been here over a couple of seasons now, but it's a tricky one. Yes, they can they can and they should make it out of it. But for me, I feel like it's a bit tricky because now you have an Al Hilal that is a problem for even most North African teams. I think they're a very good side. You have an MC Alger that is somehow similar to Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of position keeping, and then the St Eloi Lupopo. They are coming in with the hype, but the Sundowns, I think they do have the personnel, they do have the squad to deal with all of that. For me, I see Sundowns walking out of this group and going into the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, of the CAF. Other than that, this has been the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations games with KP and myself, Lefatse. Thank you very much.